ya we go up.
There is a frequently asked question: can you solemnly rely on forex trading as your main source of income, especially living in Zimbabwe, right? So in this video, I'm just going to try and break down, just what are the realities of being a full-time forex trader living in Zimbabwe. The hard truth is most Zimbabweans are looking for an alternative, income generating business, right? Or a side hustle or a side gig, right? Some people actually need to be employed because there is not a lot within the economy. The economic climate is really tough. So can you really rely on trading forex as your income source, right? So I'm just going to outline the possible upsides and also some of the disadvantages or the challenges that you are most likely going to face as somebody who makes money on the internet trading forex full time. So the good thing about trading forex is you have access to the global markets. So what this means is you actually have access to the financial market. That's the largest market currently. So you have unlimited opportunities in regards to how much you can make, right? It all depends on your capital and your level of skill, right? So that's very good for somebody who doesn't want to work full-time or be employed at a certain institution, company or organization, right? You can actually be your own boss. I mean, just look at me. This is 9 a.m. in the morning and I'm out here, man. I mean, I don't, that's the kind of freedom that you get, right? You are still working, but you can work from anywhere. And number two is, potential of high returns, right? As a forex trader, we use leverage to make money, right? So if you know how to apply leverage very well, you are at a potential of generating high returns, especially starting with very little capital. So that's a very good thing, because most people don't really have, a lot of capital to start with. So you can try and grow a small account and turn it into a significant amount. So forex actually makes that possible for you. We've talked about the potential of high returns, right? What this means is there's also potential high risk, and at the same time it's very volatile, right? So you need to be careful about those things. This is why it's very important that before you actually start trading full time, take a course so that you may see how things go about within the industry, because you need the knowledge. Basically you need the knowledge. You're not going to make money from something that you don't quite understand. It will never work out for you. I mean, we all know that in order for you to be successful, right, you actually need to put in a lot of effort. You actually need to spend some time, right? You need to take risks, right? So all those things, they apply even in the forex industry. It's not something that you just put money and walk out, because word on the street out there, most people think it's a get rich quick scheme. It's something that you just put money and the next day or the next week or the following month, you'll be up. But to be honest, there is a lot of work that happens behind closed doors, right? You need to put in the work. So those are some of the things that you need to be aware of, that you need to get accustomed with before you actually start your trading journey. This one, it only applies for people that are living in Zimbabwe, right? Understand that trading forex is not completely illegal, right? It's not illegal, it's something that's legal. However, there is no board that authorizes or that controls, that works as a regulatory board for the trading industry, the local forex trading industry. So what this means is, let's say if you face challenges like you get scammed, or there's a complaint somewhere, you cannot really it becomes difficult to reach out to, whether be it a broker or that individual, because most of these brokers that we work with, right, as forex traders, they are offshore accounts, so you have nothing to protect you against these firms if something goes sideways or if something goes wrong. So those are some of the things that you actually need to be aware of. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is actually being cautious about this space, right? But they haven't really done much. I think maybe in the coming future, we'll have a regulatory board for people that trade forex online, hopefully. Now, number 4, there are funding and withdrawal hurdles, right? Most people have failed to make a withdrawal with some other brokers, right? There are certain brokers where you put money and you do trade, right? And after trading, it becomes challenging for you to actually get that money, right? So there are certain brokers that do that. So you need to be aware of the best brokers you can actually trust and rely. And also you also need a safe way to actually make a deposit and also a withdrawal, right? The best way is obviously using the bank, but some of these banks, like the local banks, and some services, the likes of EcoCash, they don't really have an international they are not authorized to make international payments, right? They don't offer those services yet. So things like a Visa or a MasterCard, that's your go-to. That's the only thing that you can actually rely on. But other than that, we also have agents, but all these agents at the end of the day, they also use a Visa or a MasterCard. You can go to them and they do the withdrawal, and they also do the deposit for you. However, the risk now comes, you're dealing with an individual. If he is unknown and you know so little about him, you are at a risk of losing your money, right? You might give him to make a deposit and he might decide to disappear with your money. So those are some of the hurdles, and sometimes you want to make a big withdrawal. Some of these agents don't really have the capacity to make maybe 5,000 or even 10,000 withdrawals, right? So it really becomes a challenge as well. So that's another hurdle that you actually need to be aware of. Another point, which is number 5, is the need for capital, right? If you want to trade forex safely, if I'm going to be honest, is you actually need capital, right? With more capital, you actually be able to stay afloat in times where losses come up, because when you trade forex, losses are going to be part of the game, right? So if you are using a high account with a lot of capital, what it means is you're able to stay afloat. But if you're using a small account, right, you are more at a chance of blowing or losing that money, right? Because you don't have much capital. However, you can actually do some challenges, try to grow that capital, but that requires expertise. And most people that do that, honestly speaking, they are not people that started trading a year ago or 2 years ago. They've spent a lot of time. They now quite understand the markets in a way that somebody who only joined a year ago or 2 years ago, they work differently. So those are some of the challenges. The honest truth is you need capital, and if you don't have capital, what it means is the time that you spent within the markets, your experience, all those things, they add on to you actually being able to grow a small account. Being a forex trader, just like any other business or just like being an entrepreneur, you need to be very strong mentally, right? Mind you, trading forex, it's an emotional and a psychological endeavor, right? You will be faced with so many challenges. Remember, you are trading trying to make rent at the end of the month, right? You are trading because you want to do a certain thing, right? And sometimes the market isn't giving, right? So you are at a constant pressure. You need to be somebody who can really handle that pressure, and also psychologically, sometimes in the markets you have a string of losses, right? You need to stay in the game, right? You need to stick to sort of a trading plan, right? In order for you not to completely blow the account, and make sure that all that you lose, you are able to regain it as you go, right? So that's another challenge, that most people aren't really prepared. Most people don't really know that side of forex. They think it's just, it's an easy thing. You just put money and I have a strategy, and I'm getting signals from somewhere, so I should be good. But that's not how it works, right? Psychologically, you need to put your mind in the place, right? In the right place of a trader. So those are some of the hurdles, and if you don't quite master that, you can actually get services, you can actually get signals, you can actually be in a mentorship group or in a trading community, right? And still find yourself not profitable, still find yourself blowing, because psychologically you haven't been prepared to act or to perform as a trader within the markets. So with everything that I've said, can you really rely on trading forex as your main source of income? My honest answer is yes, but at the same time, it's mostly unlikely for most people. Most people are not going to be successful in trading forex because number one, they lack not just the basic skill. They haven't really developed that mindset of being a trader, right? And also they haven't really given it a chance or time, because honestly, to be a trader, you need to be resilient. You're going to blow accounts. You might think I'll blow only 10 times, but you might blow accounts maybe 200 times before you actually start becoming profitable, right? Remember, in this journey, it's not really about the best strategy that you are using, because almost each and every strategy out there, if you follow it correctly, it works. It does produce results, right? What it actually needs is, it needs consistency. It also needs discipline, right? You need to be disciplined. You need to know when to trade and how to actually execute your trades, right? And when not to trade, right? So all those things, they are very difficult, especially for somebody who's starting up, or somebody who's been trading maybe 6 months or a year only. So it really becomes a challenge, because you haven't really given yourself enough information, and you haven't really given it a chance, right, for it to actually work out, right? So that's the other side of forex most people will never talk about, especially influencers. They just want you to sign up with their brokerage firm, or sell you their trading course, right? So that you may actually start trading. But the work, the input, most people don't really talk about that one. So now answer is yes, you can actually generate a stable income as a forex trader, right? It's very possible. However, it's unlikely for most people, right? Most people are not, sadly, they are not going to become profitable traders, mainly because of the reasons that I've said. But if you are willing to prepare yourself, if you are willing to give it time, if you are willing to continue pushing, right, you are going to be consistent, you are going to be disciplined. I mean, you will realize beautiful results in trading, right? You will become profitable. If you found this video useful and you actually want to start trading or think of trading, see yourself trading full time, and you'd like more, you can join our Sport Pip, which is our institute, where we actually try to help people become profitable traders, right? We share the journey. So you can click the links in the description. Also, if you want to use reputable brokers, a brokerage firm that won't give you problems, like to make a withdrawal or to make a deposit, you can also use the brokers in the description. For more info, you can also get in touch with us at Zimbabwe Pip Global, right? I just hope that you find this information useful, because it's real out there. The struggle is real. People do want to trade, but honestly, sometimes the sources, sometimes even the institutions that help people actually become better traders, or the institutions that are supposed to be offering trading services to people, they are not really fulfilling on what they promise. and you know they're not really preparing people for what's to come, right? So at Spot Pip, you know, you might actually get helped